cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, the podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Jillian, joined by my co-host and baseball enthusiast Scout, and today we will be discussing A Starless Clan, Book 6, Star. Scout.
Hello.
Are they hitting the balls?
They're hitting the damn balls out there on the bases, ladies and germs. It's baseball season again. As I said to Jill today, I said to several of our friends in messages, my baseball Blorbo was pitching today. He's been having a rough time. Hard start to the season. I love it when he does well. He did okay for a little bit. Didn't do the best. Roki Sasaki, if you have one fan, it's me. I love you. Hope you're having a nice evening, sir.
It'd be pretty based if he listened to the podcast, actually. I think that'd be hilarious if we had like a subset of fans who were fully just baseball players.
If any Los Angeles Dodger listens to this podcast, great. Hello.
Hit me up. Hit us up. Email us.
You're doing a great job. Whoever you are, you're doing, except if you're Blake Trinan. If you're Blake Trinan, don't talk to me. It's fine.
Ooh, damn.
He's the one Los Angeles Dodger I know that is a Trump supporter. So he does not, he cannot come to the party. Yeah, ew. He can't come to the party.
No, he is not invited to the Horse Place Blunt rotation.
He is not in the Horse Place Blunt rotation. But yeah, so that's baseball. It was a baseball day in my house today. We watched the game. What about you, Jill? How has your day been?
My day's been pretty chill. I watched some friends play Slay the Spire while I read this book.
Oh, yeah.
I got some Warriors RP posts written. I played some Pocopia.
Beautiful.
And I did some gardening. Pretty swell day.
You're entering the mind of J Feather. You're in your J Feather era.
Actually, I did plant catnip. So I do have some catnip that is growing and catgrass. As well as thyme, lavender, sage. Yeah, I've got a couple of Warrior Cats herbs that I planted today. I'm planting them from seed, dear listeners, so we'll see if that amounts to anything.
I hope it goes well. Your local Warrior Cats, your local medicine cats are going to show up, and they're gonna steal your bushes. They're gonna take your plants.
You know, I'll let them.
Yeah.
That's okay.
If a cat dug up a plant in my yard, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, you need that more than me, obviously.
I'm sure you need it. No, I did see that black cat again.
Ooh.
And unlike the Tabby Tom that has been hanging around that got Zelda all in a tizzy, she and I watched the black cat go across our front yard, pounce on something in a bunch of vines and other ground cover. I don't think it caught anything because even though it stayed in there for a little bit, it ended up leaving. But she did not seem terribly freaked out by it. So hopefully I can manage to lure this little black cat into our house.
Ooh.
And give Zelda a sister.
An exciting development.
I hope. I'm very hopeful. I would love to take that cat in. She's so cute.
Oh.
I love black cats.
Well, I really hope that goes well. That's awesome. How has the prey been running for you on top of all of this wonderful news?
Well, Eric and I have been very bad this past week and not cooking, even though I really should have been. But it's okay. We're going to be good this week. And I will plan on I'm going to make like stir fry, and I make like a bourbon chicken that I really enjoy. So yeah, and probably enchiladas as well.
Oh, I've been craving enchiladas. I want enchiladas so bad. I should make enchiladas.
I might also pivot and make like a homemade mac and cheese, because my God, do I just want like a big old thing of mac and cheese. Like I have been craving that for like 3 days straight.
I love like a hybrid stovetop bechamel mac and cheese that then you put in the oven and you bake it with the cheese and the breadcrumbs on top. You get me. You and I, we're on the same wavelength with the mac mac and cheese.
I almost ordered mac and cheese for dinner tonight. Yeah, how's prayer run running for you?
Pray's been running pretty good. I made a new recipe this week. I made Dublin coddle.
What is that?
It's basically a fancy word for like a sausage and potato stew.
Ooh.
But it was really nice. It's I suppose it's an Irish dish, obviously considering Dublin is in the name.
Mm-hmm.
You fry off some chopped bacon in the pan and you render out all the fat, and then you sear the sausages in that, and then you put in the potatoes and onions and your broth, and you put everything together and you put that in the oven for a while. So it's really not that much to do either, which is nice.
That sounds delicious.
It came out so flavorful and tasty. I would highly recommend it.
Nice.
And then for my father's birthday this weekend, he requested ribs. So he made a nice rack of ribs.
Ooh, delicious.
With Coca-Cola barbecue sauce. That's our favorite kind of barbecue sauce to make.
Ooh.
Very good. And what kind of chocolate cake is it? It's some fucked up chocolate cake that's really, really good. And we had that yesterday, and that was all delicious. So pretty good food week.
Nice.
Gotta do the menu and get ready for this upcoming week. That's a task for tomorrow, Scout.
Every day. Every day I have to choose.
Every day we gotta get up and we gotta choose our meals. This is the thing they don't tell you. I'm sure this is something I've already said on the podcast before, but that's what they don't tell you as a child. That's what they don't tell you about adulthood, is that you gotta think about food every damn day in a way that you didn't when you were little and the food got put in front of you. But I do like thinking about food most of the days. Some of the days I wish I didn't have to, but you know.
Yeah.
That's being an adult.
That's kind of what this week was like, is I was like, I don't have the brain power for it.
Sometimes you just don't got it, and that's okay. That's why they invented restaurants.
So true. And frozen pizza.
That's why, that's why they invented the food that you can get that you don't have to make. So that when you don't want to make it, you don't have to all the time.
You want to talk about covers?
Yeah, one cover today. I'll also mention, I won't go over what the covers are necessarily on the podcast, but a few more of those serialized Chinese covers have come out as they are continuing to release this arc in that format, and they all remain wonderful. I love them. I'm so happy to see them every time they show up. But they haven't gotten to this book yet, but the sort of regular published simplified Chinese edition does have a cover. It is the Nine Lives ceremony that's at the end of this book.
Interesting that they would put that as the cover.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of really specific pulls on the covers from this artist and like this publication specifically. Because a couple books ago was Squirrel Star and Ivy Pool was featured on the cover. So very much focused kind of on the leader stuff, which is an interesting take.
Well, it's also interesting because the American cover is apparently Misty Star and Reed Whisker.
What? Huh, what?
That's what the wiki said.
This isn't Frostpaw? Yeah, Misty Star on the left and Reed Whisker on the right. Huh, what?
Wild choice.
How about what? Wow, yeah, that is strange. I guess that's why he's like all covered in stars.
Oh, Frostpaw is on there.
Frostpaw.
So Frostpaw is at the front, and then Misty Star and Reed Whisker on the.
Oh, is this in there?
But that's still.
So the little like spots is him trying to do like the star sparkles in their fur.
Yes.
Oh, Owen,
my guy, we really have tried to defend you.
I don't want to be mean, but Owen, get it together, maybe. But this cover, the simplified Chinese cover with the Star Clan look, I really like the way that the Star Clan cats look here. They're super ghosty, but I think that looks really cool, and I really like the starry night sky behind them, and our new leader of RiverClan, who we will talk about shortly, is looking pretty cool here.
Yeah.
So I usually picture her with long fur, but I don't hate the short hair look at all.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Spoilers! We should probably get into that, unless you have any specific comments on this cover.
No comments on the cover, but there has been more announcements regarding the graphic novels.
That's right, yeah, we should bring that up.
Hawk Frost's design has been revealed. He is looking perfect. Love him. And they are gonna be continuing with the graphic novels. So far, they've agreed to sign on through Omen of the Stars.
Yeah, which is exciting.
Which is thrilling, and also, we will be reading Warrior Cats until the day we die, it seems.
They're never stopping. In most cases, I am a person who's like, stop redoing stories that have already been published, do new things. But in the case of these graphic novels, I am very excited about these adaptations, and I think it's a really fun way to reapproach this stuff. It's also very different. It's not like, usually when I get mad about remakes, it's movies being remade into other movies, oftentimes not that far from each other. I'm still really mad about the How to Train Your Dragon remake. I think that's one of the stupidest ones.
Yeah.
But this is it's like adapting it into a totally different format.
A new format.
I'm very excited. Pretty soon we'll be covering the first arc in the graphic novels, which is a little peek into the programming that will be coming after this season, which we will talk more about next episode. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm really, really liking the artwork and the new artist that they've got for the new Prophecy run. I'm excited to hear that we're going to get Power of Three and we're going to get all the way through Omen of the Stars. Very curious to see how that stuff gets adapted.
I also like that because Warriors is, over 20 years old, it is an older series. Going back and updating some of the things that we have learned as a society and as authors, updating things that perhaps needed some changing, has been really nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they're really benefiting from the updates, just from what I've seen as far as chatter from folks who have read those new graphic novels, and I'm excited to dive into them myself.
But that's all I have on terms of regular news.
All right. Some good news. With that, I suppose we should get into the summary.
Indeed.
Paint me a picture.
In the prologue, we see Splashtail, haunted by the dark forest spirit of Curlfeather, jabbing at his insecurities and vowing to never leave him be for his attempts to kill Frostpaw. With our protagonists finally together, the three search for Icewing, Duskfur, and Mothwing in order to get them to safety. When they finally have the three fugitives safe in ShadowClan's camp, Tigerstar informs them of a message from StarClan to send cats out on a mission. Icewing volunteers to represent RiverClan. What happens on that journey? Well, that's for the upcoming Super Edition to explain, silly. We're not going to get any of that today. Sparrowheart enters ShadowClan's camp claiming that she no longer follows Splashstar, and leads Tigerstar and some other ShadowClan cats to the island on the pretense of helping RiverClan rebuild their camp. To no one's surprise except the characters in this novel, it was a trick to trap Tigerstar and several of his warriors, as well as Frostpaw, while Splashtail leads an attack on the ShadowClan camp. He manages to take over, and Nightheart escapes with Mothwing and Duskfur, only to get separated from them when he rescues SkyClan kits from Sneezecloud and Fognose. Sunbeam also escapes, but stays nearby to watch over Berryheart. Frostpaw escapes the island and makes her way to WindClan, where she convinces Hairstar to help her gather the remaining clans to free ShadowClan and RiverClan from Splashtail's influence. The combined forces of the clans arrive as Owlnose kills Berryheart, with his original target having been Sunbeam. Nightheart, meanwhile, is captured in RiverClan's camp and tries to turn the cats against Splashtail, only for them to inform him that they're following him because the Tom is threatening Kits, his own kin, in fact. It isn't long before cats arrive to overthrow Splashtail, and despite him taking a kit hostage, Frostpaw manages to chase him down. After the two battle, Frostpaw manages to land a killing blow, but not before sustaining major injuries herself. The young medicine cat apprentice slips into a coma, leaving the fate of RiverClan still up in the air. As time passes, some RiverClan cats begin to lose hope and seek out other clans, while Frostpaw remains trapped between life and death. The prospect of her destiny among the living is overwhelming. It's nearly a moon before Tree gathers cats important to her and guides her back from StarClan, where she wakes among friends and family. Frostpaw and Whistlepaw are soon after granted their full medicine cat names, Frostdawn and Whistlebreeze. And the night after, Frostdawn takes the new RiverClan leader, Icewing, to receive her 9 lives. With a leader in place for RiverClan, life returns to normal for now. Frostdawn and Icestar vowing to help their clan recover, and Nightheart and Sunbeam finally settling into a normal life in ThunderClan, with kits on the way. And that's this book.
That's the book.
What's the overall vibe here for you, Scout?
I think there were things in here that I liked. I think overall it's probably fine. I have a lot of structural issues with this book, some of which I think are issues with this book itself, and some of which are sort of a side effect of the ways in which I think the structure of this arc as a whole suffered. There are moments that I really like, but there is a lot of stuff that just didn't feel impactful. I think that's where I come out on it.
Mm-hmm. There were things in this book that I really enjoyed, which I think is kind of how I feel about this whole arc. Is like, there are good things in here, but the writing is kind of where it suffers. Like, 2/3 of this book is a battle.
Yeah.
And then the last third is, like, the entirety is Frostpaw gonna decide to die or not? Like, it is so filler in there of, like...
Yeah, the thing about that section is that I think it would have a lot more impact if it was just the Frostdawn chapters, or the Frostpaw chapters, and we didn't have the stuff of people sort of outside observing her condition. Like, maybe we got just a little bit of that, but mostly it was just the interiority of it.
Because, like, we had when Shadowsight was, like, in his coma, and that was actually interesting.
Yeah.
But in this one, it was just kind of a lot of waiting, and the entire, like, all of the filler chapters were like, should we let RiverClan cats join other clans while they're waiting for their medicine cat to wake up? I don't know. It's...
Yeah. The last third of the book really suffers.
Really dragged.
And I think it suffers even more for some actually, like, structural, or not even structural, but literally, like, technical writing issues that I have in my notes that I want to get to pretty soon as well.
For sure.
But yeah, it pretty much comes out, and I feel like this is sort of how I feel about this whole arc, which is sort of what you said, is that there's some moments in here that really, really sing. I do genuinely like all 3 of our protagonists quite a bit. The broader content of the arc really suffers from an unfocused camera and sort of a storyline without conviction in itself and, like, what it's trying to do.
Yeah, I gotta say, as strong as I was with Splashtail earlier on this arc as, like, our main villain, like, loving what was going on with him, this book just completely, like, they made him cartoonish almost.
Yes.
And I was like, we never really got, like, the best understanding of why he's doing so many of the things that he's doing. Like, wanting to be the leader of RiverClan because Crowfeather put it in your head that you would be her deputy and you guys would, like, make a more modern RiverClan together. That's fine. I get that. Why are we threatening to kill your own younger siblings? Why are we trying to take over ShadowClan and and then saying, actually, we're gonna leave the clan territories and make RiverClan elsewhere. And it's like, okay, there is no consistency in this book with him.
No, there is no consistency with a lot of stuff, but there's like multiple characterization issues with Splashtail that really bring him down as far as like a villain in the series as a whole.
100%, yeah.
One of the big issues with him for me in this book also is that the authors can't seem to decide whether to make him evil parentheses scary or evil parentheses silly.
Yeah.
Because we have these moments where it's like, okay, he's doing a violent societal takeover. That's evil scary. He is threatening to kill children, his like little baby siblings. Scary. Naming two cats Gray Sludge and Mist Slime because he hates their mom. That's evil silly, and that does not fit with all this other stuff.
Yeah. Evil silly.
Evil parentheses silly. Yeah. And it really is like he started out very silver tongue. He started out being manipulation king. Really charismatic and manipulative, and like then he goes all in on brute force and like scare tactics rather than manipulation, and I'm like, this is not what you guys had set up. Yeah, and also sort of this like the fictional sort of character archetype canon of insanity, right? Like they say at multiple points in this book, like he's crazy, he's gone crazy, which I don't necessarily have an issue with, except that that's like the only justification that they start giving for all of this stuff. Like,
and it's like, no, he wasn't always like this. Like he did do this before all of this, before Curlfeather started haunting him. Like,
yeah,
he had reasons.
Yeah.
Why are we taking his reasons away?
And even if they had pushed the being haunted by Curlfeather thing a little more, then maybe that would have worked better. But as it was, like we had the prologue, which I think, did we need this prologue? No, not necessarily. Was it sick as hell? Yeah, I think it's kind of fucking sick as hell that Curlfeather is there.
It's kind of dope as
and
hell.
She's all fucked up from the dogs and her spirit is haunting him. I think that's sick. But then we don't have access to Splashtail's perspective at any other point in the book. And so we don't get to see, like, if we were actually getting to see him haunted by Curlfeather and hear the things that she's saying to him.
Yeah, because it just happens in this book when he nearly killed Froston like 3 books ago.
Which is another thing that is like, this could have worked if it had been set up that maybe since Curlfeather's death, right? He killed her. And it could have even been a thing of like, is this his guilty conscience or is it actually Curlfeather haunting him? And is she playing into that of like, I'm here because you did this to me. You did this to me, Splashtail. You know, you could have had a bunch of really interesting texture with this, and it just kind of exists here to do almost nothing except to kind of give a justification for the way that his actions have changed, but kind of they just did this so that they had some out of a way to get through this whole thing to the end of the arc without having to do a bunch of work. There's a lot of, I don't like to throw the word lazy around because there's a lot of work that goes into a manuscript. There's a big team behind these books, but there's not much consideration going into all of this stuff. It feels like
100%.
Side note about the Gray Sludge and Mist Slime thing, the fact that the POV characters just fully assimilate that into their internal monologues and like the narration calls them Gray Sludge and Mist Slime. Like we're just going with this? You're just gonna keep saying it? Like it's their names?
It was kind of funny. When it said Gray Sludge and Miss Slime, I was like, all right, that's stupid as hell, but it's so fucking funny.
It's really funny. It absolutely takes me out of like the dramatic moments that they're trying to build, but it really is funny.
Yeah, 100% agree.
That's some shit that would be in like a parody animation that the fandom would make, right?
Yes, 100%. I know it's at the end of the book, but I kind of want to talk about this kind of up front. Who were you expecting to be leader of RiverClan? Like, how were you expecting that to shake out? Because I was not expecting Icewing. I am kind of pleasantly surprised about it.
I don't know if I actually was spoiled on this or if it was just something that like somebody said at some point. Like I saw it in a Tumblr post where somebody was like, I think that we're going to get Icewing as the new leader. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because like I knew that it's not a spoiler actually because that's what Ivy Pool's Heart is going to be about. I knew she was in Ivy Pool's Heart. And so from there I was like, oh, and kind of like, and I sort of had a vague idea that there was a shakeup with RiverClan leadership happening in this arc, just from stuff, osmosis that I've picked up as it was coming out. So I was like, oh, maybe it's probably going to be Icewing. I had a theory going all the way back to the first or second book. I think it was the first book. When Frostpaw got the curl feather vision, which turned out to just be a curled feather that Splashtail had placed there. But I had I built this whole theory in my head of maybe that is actually a real sign from StarClan, but it's actually or it's actually that she misinterprets it and it's about Icewing.
Because it had the frost on it. Yeah, so a frosty feather could come from an icy wing. And maybe that was actually a real StarClan vision that Frostpaw had misinterpreted. So I've sort of had that in my head for a while. So I think I was expecting it, but I kind of thought that there would be a little more to it than what we ended up getting. I agree. I thought that we would get more around, like, picking the leader. I think Icewing was the correct choice, personally. She's been kind of a character who's been around. Like, we've seen her in a couple other arcs, like, having influence. So, like, she is a RiverClan cat that we, like, vaguely know about. I'm not gonna lie, I was, like, fully expecting them to pull, like, making Frostpaw leader. Just because I would not put it past them.
That's fair. Oh, that would be really, really a very young leader.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that would not be great, but I wouldn't put it past them making this very young cat leader because she's a POV character.
And because the
whole arc is about her trying to figure out who the next leader is going to be.
And the whole arc is her clan saying, Frostpaw, what do we do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this is... Sorry, I made myself laugh with my thought. This is just like all of the adults in Squall Leonhardt's life, giving him all of this responsibility, just pushing responsibility onto him.
Rip Squall Leonhardt. You would have loved Froston.
You would have loved Froston.
Damn, that's crazy.
This is not the first anguished teenager parallel that I'm going to make with Froston today either.
No, I saw the notes. I did see the notes. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, so I was fully expecting that to be
interesting.
Like a very possible ending.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm glad that it didn't go that way.
I was not the only one because I know that was like I remember like when this arc was coming out, like I knew the conceit was RiverClan has no leader. We gotta figure out who's gonna be the leader. And I know there were a lot of folks thinking it would be Frostpaw.
Wow.
So, you know, there was some juice behind it. But I am in the end very glad that it was Icewing. I will say, however, if they were trying to pick a younger cat, they did fail on that front.
Yeah, Icewing is pretty old, right?
Yeah, Icewing was, I believe, an adult who already had hits in Power of 3.
She's one of the ones who we don't know who her parents are, right? Because there at some point, I think it was the beginning of Power of 3. There were just like new RiverClan cats that were added into the allegiances at the beginning of the arc, and we don't actually know anything about their sort of longer history.
Yeah, I think there is like word of God things about her parents. Yeah, Sue Suzanne.
Oh, Sue Suzanne, a classic! Bringing Sue Suzanne Suzanne back.
Welcome back, Sue Suzanne. According to Sue Suzanne, Skyheart and Reedtail were mates, and Icewing, Pinefur, and Duskfur were their daughters. But yeah, so she was an adult with children in Power of Three. So, like, she is not a young cat.
No.
The wiki does not have an exact age for her.
I guess because we don't know her
Because we don't
exact
know.
age, yeah.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate that we are picking yet another old cat.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's okay. Ice Star. I love you, Ice Star. But yeah, I mean, we've seen Icewing around. She was a Dark Forest trainee. She,
Beetle Whisker was her son. Shout out to my guy Beetle Whisker, who kept dying and coming back to life.
Beetle Whisker. She is also Froston's great-grandmother.
Nice.
So that's when I was like, now hang on a second. I thought we were going to be picking some younger cats.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So yeah, that was just some stuff that I found for her.
Very cool. Yeah. The thing that really surprised me was the owl nose as deputy. That one really threw me for a loop.
I think that kind of it was interesting to sort of like it kind of interestingly paralleled with Graystripe, where there was in Graystripe's vow, I believe, there was that whole conversation where he was like, I don't want to be leader, but I will be deputy.
Yeah.
Which I think was really I think is like an interesting reason of like her picking him, but also like, guys, we just had a whole arc about this. Maybe pick someone who would be willing to take on the mantle if something happened to you.
I think the book is getting
Just a thought.
I think the book is getting at that because he says earlier in the book that, like, I wish that I had made a different decision. When I said I'm not going to be leader, I wish that I had actually gone through with it. And so I think that, like, the book is trying to get at that he has grown and that he is more willing to take on that responsibility now than he was when all of this started. And I like that. But I don't think that the book focuses on that enough to make it really impactful or feel like that change has happened.
Right.
Also really tough to everything going on in this book is weird. The fact that he gets sort of this emotional moment and then gets to be RiverClan's deputy in the end also feels strange when he is the one who kills Sparrowheart. And the way that Sparrowheart's death is written was another strange thing to me in this whole thing. I feel like Sparrowheart's storyline got so muddled, and I really struggled in this book with the way that it feels like the authors expected us as readers to mourn Sparrowheart with Sunbeam. Her death was treated with a lot of, like, the book was trying to put pathos behind it, like it was going to be really emotionally impactful that she died in like a, oh, I'm so sad that Sunbeam lost her mom way. And she's never had a redeeming quality in her life. There's nothing here for me to be like, oh no, Sparrowheart, Sparrowheart.
Even Sunbeam's like monologue was like her internal monologue and what she said at her funeral was very like, I know my mom loved me, and then she's like, but my God, could she have not loved me a different way?
Yeah. And even like the thing that they have to try and give a sympathetic eye to, like, put a sympathetic lens over Sparrowheart is like a story that Sunbeam thinks about of like being a kit and her mom caring for her as a kit in the nursery. And it's like, that is so ancient history news that we've never
only brought up in this book.
Only brought up in this book and never brought up previously. So yeah,
it really fell flat.
It fell really flat, and I couldn't.
When she died, I was like, good riddance. Get out of here.
Yeah. And so that's another reason that the Owlnose pick is strange to me, because it's kind of, Owlnose is sort of showcased as a villain in that moment.
Yeah, because he was going to kill Sunbeam.
He was about to fucking kill Sunbeam. Yeah, and Sparrowheart gets in front of the bullet. God, if the cats had guns. Anyway, sorry, that's not important. I just had a vision briefly. Yeah, everything about it just felt messy and strange and confusing, and like I never quite knew what the book was looking for me to feel about any of those characters.
Yeah, and I think it kind of goes in with what you were saying about the book being like not going fully into the narrative that it could, in the sense of like they kind of get towards the, like, Sparrowheart did the wrong thing. Like, they make that point, but as, like, human beings and adults, I was like, Sunbeam needs to go no contact.
Yeah.
Like, that is what needs to happen. Like, this is not a situation where you can, like, still love her despite the fact that she did all. Like, this is a situation where you need to remove yourself from her.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, she is still present at the funeral and, like, sticks up for her family that, like, followed with them to Tiger Star. I don't know. It just felt, these are books for kids, but it felt childish. It felt like, no, it's okay. You can still forgive people. Like, even if they haven't changed.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. You can forgive them, but they have to do the work. They have to, like, change.
Yeah.
They have to put in the effort.
And I think that that's kind of outside of Splashtail being given the he's crazy treatment.
Yeah.
Every other follower of Splashtail throughout all of this kind of ends up being given an out in this book, and they pull back on any attempts that they made earlier to characterize any of these characters as actually believing in the stuff that Splashtail was saying.
Exactly.
Which also makes all of it hit pretty rough. And
because they're just like, oh my god, he's gonna kill the kids. And it's like, he's one guy.
He's literally one guy. That's the other thing. They're all like, oh, he's holding the kids hostage. And I understand that can be a scary situation. Literally, he's one guy, and he wasn't even, for a significant period of this book, he was not even near the kits at all that he supposedly was going to kill. You literally could have you could have prevented him from doing that. He's one cat. And there's like a gajillion other of you. He's a single guy. He's just one guy.
He's just one guy. He's just one dude.
And sometimes, I mean, they could have killed him. Sometimes in a story, sometimes you can just kill one guy and it can fix it, and that's okay. You know, like they didn't.
Yeah, that is the thing too that kind of pisses me off sometimes about Warriors is like when you are setting it up as like this one character is threatening everybody to like fall in line. Yes, that happens. That can happen. There can be one guy who sucks real bad, and without him, everything will go back to normal. Why don't we just kill them?
Why don't we just kill that guy?
I had this issue when they were letting Ashfur yap in the dark forest in the last arc, and it's like, hey,
you don't have to listen to his monologue. You can just jump him. Just kill him now.
He has one life. You all know that he has one life.
And even
if he didn't, if you killed him and he was gonna come back to life, you have enough time to get the kids away from him. It's not immediate.
Yeah. And when he took the kid in the end, he didn't even kill the kid right away. Like, if he was actually trying to make this point that he was serious, like, not to say they should kill a child, they should kill a baby.
No, I'm saying it.
I don't want them to kill a baby in Warrior Cats, but if he's threatening to kill a baby in Warrior Cats and he has the opportunity and he doesn't do it, then that means that he's not going to fucking do it, and you can just kill him.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, if you're gonna make him make this threat, like, it needs to be believable. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, he like hesitates so long on it that it's like, oh my god.
It takes
either do it, like, shit, or get off the pot. Like, come on.
This is also the way that I feel about the threat to kill Nightheart also. And that whole will they, won't they with the
like, can we just kill people or not? Like, we just gotta do it. Stop talking about it.
And this was
everybody needs to take action.
And then that ended up coming to nothing, which is another one of my big points with this book, is there are huge, strange gaps sometimes in the flow of the narrative, where they skip over stuff that feels like it probably should be important. Like, they have a big sort of climactic buildup to Gorseclaw threatening to kill Nightheart for Splashtail to save these kits, right? And even gets to the point where, like, a chapter ends on the cliffhanger of Gorseclaw going, okay, I'll do it. And then we cut away from that for several chapters, and when we come back, Nightheart is fine. So he didn't do it, but then if he didn't do it, what happened? And then that just never really comes up again. I think he makes an allusion to like, Gorseclaw attacked me, and then some other cats came in and like told him to stop and whatever, and that's how we started tussling in here. But that's never, the fact that that confrontation isn't shown when there was so much buildup to get to that confrontation was very strange. And I think that the dispersion of RiverClan cats to other clans after Splashtail is killed and during Frostpaw's coma was also very strange and not sort of foregrounded at all, and just sort of like tossed at us and not executed well, and sort of confusing and inert in a lot of ways as well. Like you said, you know, that's sort of the plot point that they use for the whole back third of the book, and it really doesn't feel interesting at all.
I even saw there was a mention in the book where it's like, we should kill him, and they're like, no, then we'd be no better than he is. And it's like, I fucking hate that argument. Sometimes gotta kill a guy.
Sometimes you gotta kill a guy.
And they're like, a warrior always has a choice. I'm like, yeah, and the choice is kill this bitch. We're gonna have to kill this guy, Steven.
We're gonna have to kill this guy, Steven. I am really worried about the copy editing team. Copy editing team, blink twice if you're okay.
Blink twice if you're okay.
I sort of have a little list here of some of my biggest issues. There's momentary shifts in perspective in at least one of the Nightheart and or Sunbeam chapters. I don't even remember whose perspective it was, because oftentimes they are basically one and the same. So I understand them getting confused, but there is a moment, I believe I wrote down here, in the first edition hardcover, it was on page 79 for me. There is a moment where the perspective literally shifts, like in the middle of the chapter.
I remember that happening, and I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, and I think it probably happens multiple times, or...
Yeah, it happens a couple times.
So that's an issue. There's all the stuff that I already talked about with these sort of gaps in time where you would think that there should be something there. Sort of things are skipped over in strange ways. Another big example of this, outside of the stuff with the RiverClan cats and other clans near the end, is when Nightheart is captured by the RiverClan cats when he saves the SkyClan kittens. And they kind of just jump a whole bunch to get him to the RiverClan camp, which is fine, except they also have like 3 sort of attempts for him to try and get away, but like as he tries and get away, they cut away and then cut back, and didn't get away, and he's like, oh, I tried to get away and I didn't get away.
Confusing.
It was really, really confusing. There was a lot of action and movement in this book that didn't make a lot of sense. And then probably the thing that bothered me the most, and maybe this is too small of a thing to really get under my skin, but they called Splashtail the false RiverClan leader. That whole thing, the false RiverClan leader. Every other fucking sentence. It's 2 sentences in a row here in this one that I put down. As the false RiverClan leader yowled in pain, the battling cats froze. Their gazes flashed towards Splashtail as he tore his leg free and turned on Owlnose. With a snarl, the false RiverClan leader leaped at the brown tabby tom and raked his claws along his pelt.
Yeah.
It happened so much, and it was taking me out of it every single time. This felt like, so literally the first time I ever did National Novel Writing Month, which also National Novel Writing Month has gone all in on AI, and I hate them now.
Yeah.
But that aside, back in like 2009, I think, was the first time I ever did NaNoWriMo. I heard about it from my friendly local game store, and they did like a midnight NaNoWriMo is starting event. And they had people that like came and talked about it and was like, I've done it before, and so here are some tips. And one of the tips they give is literally like, don't just name your main character Steve, name him the man in the big yellow hat or something. And then every time you write about him, you have to write, he's the man in the big yellow hat. And that's going to give you a bunch more words so that you reach your 50,000 book word count by the end of the month. That is the shit this reminds me of. Why do they use so many words?
Yeah.
They don't need, we need to, in this case, we need to use his name more. Please, I'm begging you to remember that you can just say a name. Or even just he. He is fine. Sometimes you just can say he, and we know who you're talking about. We understand the context around the rest of the sentence. But then also, they're saying names too damn much too, because I had to read Duskfur, Icewing, and Mothwing over and over again like Sora, Donald, Goofy. Through the whole first third of this book.
Like, it's very inconsistent. The
writing in this book is just really not good.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
It's tough. It's like, there's so many, like, dialogue and, like, line choices, too, that just kind of throw me off.
Yes.
A lot of Curl Feathers stuff when she's talking to Frostpaw at the end, where she's, like, talking about, like, what she would have done as a RiverClan leader. Like, it felt weird. She's like, no, we needed to make a better RiverClan. And Frostpaw's like, RiverClan was awesome. What the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, I wouldn't need 9 lives to run a clan. And it's like, no, you really did want to get 9 lives. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, there's so much stuff that does just feel like they're just saying shit. You know, some of it's just like
they're just saying shit.
You're just saying shit.
There's a moment at the end where Lizardtail is like, that's easy for you to say. You haven't had your clan wrecked by an evil cat. To ThunderClan? Hello? To ThunderClan, who literally, like, had their clan split in 2 last arc because of the fucking imposter? Hey, guys, maybe think for a moment.
That was another thing that had me worried about the copy editors, and if they're, like, locked in a dungeon somewhere and they have to do this in 5 hours. They kept swapping who was in ThunderClan from RiverClan. Gorseclaw was there sometimes, Night Sky was there sometimes. It, like, changed sentence to sentence. And then also Gorseclaw was in RiverClan later, but then Gorseclaw was back, and then Night Sky was in RiverClan, but then Night Sky also, they said he was in ThunderClan. They said she was in ThunderClan. I didn't know who the fuck was where. Are you guys okay? Are you guys all right?
They're not.
They're not okay. They're not all right. And I have an Erin Corner. Maybe I should just bring this up now. During my Erin Corner research, as of an article on January 31st, 2024, the writing team on the website mentioned that they were putting the finishing touches on this book. This book came out in November of 2024. If they were putting the finishing touches on in January of 2024, that means they had like 10 months that they could have fixed this stuff, and they didn't? And so does that mean that, like, who's the publisher? Random House? HarperCollins. Does this mean HarperCollins just, like, puts this in a safe and they're not allowed to touch it for 10 months until it gets printed? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
I don't know how the publishing industry works enough to be able to, like...
Yeah, I don't want to put this entirely on the copy editing team, because I feel like there has to be extenuating circumstances
especially with, like, distribution and printing. Like, I feel like production does take a while.
Yeah. But I just feel like somebody somewhere is not paying enough attention to what's happening. And it's been really, really apparent in this arc, especially. And it feels like almost every book it gets worse. And I'm scared for them. Anyway.
I will say I did like the Frostpaw and Splashtail battle. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm glad she was the one to kill him.
She got to go sicko mode, and I loved that for her.
Like, I would have been upset if she hadn't been the one to do that, considering everything he has done to her. My girl deserves vengeance.
So true. She does.
Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you want to go ape shit?
She deserved to go ape shit, and it was nice to see her use her warrior.
The fact that she uses a little, like, tip that she got from Hairlight to turn the tide.
Yeah. And also, it's brutal too. It's like, Hairlight told me to go for the Achilles tendon. Like, take his fucking legs out. Yeah, that fight was really good. And
the fact that even at the end he's like, I'm going to StarClan and you're not, and she's like, what the fuck are you on about?
Who literally, what's wrong with him? Something's wrong. I liked that scene. I wish it had happened later in the book, maybe. And that the rest of the book didn't feel so anticlimactic.
Yeah. No, I was on call with our friends Frey and Andy at the time, and I was reading the book and I was like, how are there still 100 pages left?
Literally, that's what it felt like. What do you mean?
It's like, how are there still 100 pages? What's going on here? And then it was 100 pages of Frostpaw being in a coma and her dad telling her to kill herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was weird to me.
All of that.
J-Claw being like, it's okay, you can just come be in StarClan and it's super cool. And it's like, what is up with you?
It really was. So here in the middle of, I'm going to read this out directly because you can see the moment at which I put two and two together as I was writing out this note. I wrote, I am moved by the exhaustion and sadness present in Frostpaw post-battle. This long, drawn-out period of will she hold on or will she drift away as she sees these disjointed visions. Oh, motherfucker, it's Neon Genesis Evangelion.
It really is.
It's Shinji in the LCL. Will you drift away? Will you become one with the Ava? Or will you return and continue the agonizing ordeal of being a person?
Yep.
And those moments feel very surreal in the way that Neon Genesis Evangelion feels as well. So yeah, J-Claw wanted her to stay in the Ava forever and just become Tang in the LCL. And that's weird. You're absolutely right. That's strange. That's a strange thing for a father to say to a daughter.
Yeah, especially a father who knows that this child's mother is in hell. And also, if she dies, like, StarClan literally said the river will dry up if the frost does not stay. And it's so, why is StarClan trying to persuade her to stay in StarClan? When I was like, when he was doing that, I was like, is he secretly also in the Dark Forest?
Is he secretly
because
also
what the
evil?
fuck is happening? But no, he was just like, oh man, wouldn't it be nice? And I'm like, boy,
I'm just
perplexed.
I'm really perplexed by all this stuff.
Perplexed at these decisions. My next note is actually also with your next note.
Yeah.
After the Evangelion one, I was like, the Nightheart trans reading has never been stronger than it was in the moment that Tree said, all the she-cats who love you are here. And she names, and Frostpaw names Nightheart as being one of the cats that are there. And I'm like, now
what are we doing?
What are
we doing? This is...
But I definitely was like, again, I think a copy editing issue rather than anything else.
It was the moment that I think has sold it to me the most, even though I think having that reading there means that maybe Tree is being transphobic, but...
He would never.
Yeah, and Tree would never, because Tree is trans.
Exactly. And his son is trans. His child is also trans.
And his child is also trans, and everybody's trans. Yeah, that moment really stuck out to me. It was very funny. I was like, oh, we're including Nightheart in all the she-cats who love you? What does this mean? What are we doing? You're probably right that it is just a thing that they didn't think through all the way as far as what they were saying. Or maybe it's that Nightheart was just also there and wasn't actually singing, that because like they had called for like, Nightheart, she's about to die. We want you to be there when she dies.
Yeah.
And then separately, Tree got a bunch of moms together and said, go my moms. And the moms sang,
go my moms. Go my scarab.
Go my scarab. I really liked the moments when Tree came into Frostpaw's like spirit experience and tried to bring her back. Yeah. I thought that was really fun. I would have liked more of it. I kind of would have like, oh, there's so much cool stuff you could do where Tree is like the sycophant trying to bring her back, and Curl Feather is trying to pull her towards like a dark path, and her father is trying to maybe like even keep her in this purgatory or something, instead of like trying to say die. Maybe you just need more time here in purgatory with me or whatever. And Curl Feather is trying to get her to give in so that she's dead, so that RiverClan dissolves, because if Curl Feather can't have it, nobody can. Exactly. You could have done something really cool with it. It's fine.
I'm chilling normal.
I'm so normal and don't think too hard about the cat books at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think so many of the gripes that I have here with this book also boil down to they didn't do any setup in the previous books, and they had the time and they had the opportunities, and they made the choice not to, and then they suffered the consequences. And the Quincy's that they const was that the book isn't always coherent in the story that it's trying to tell.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to say is, now, Nightheart and Sunbeam, they said they weren't going to have kids right away. That was kind of a cornerstone.
I will grant them that they said, we want to wait until things are chill.
True.
But, like, you did not wait that long.
No. Like, it wasn't that long, guys. Okay. I mean, they're ready. I'm not going to tell them how they have to raise their family. It just stuck out to me that we literally had a conversation in the previous book of like that was mature and different in the world of Warrior Cats, of like, we don't want to have kids right away. And then
we gotta have Firestar's lineage continue, man. These cats gotta carry on the legacy.
It's fine. It's fine. What do I know? Yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Well, let me take us on over to the Erin Corner. We got a few big things here. This was Kate Carey's final published book in the series. We will see her one more time because she also wrote Riverstar's Home, but that is the last thing by Kate Carey that we have to read. And so this is the second to last, and this was the last thing that she ever wrote for the series that was published. And that also means Nightheart was the last Warriors POV that she wrote. So shout out.
Shout out, Kate Carey. We may have razzed you a lot, but, you know.
Kate Carey, you still wrote some really good books across this series. And I will be respect. You will be missed. You have shaped the series in a lot of really big ways. Do we think that this being the last one might have something to do with the quality of the manuscript?
I don't want to cast those kinds of aspersions.
Yeah, I am curious because it could be, if you're burnt out on a job, it's tough.
Hey, true facts.
It could be tough to get through that.
I know that.
Yeah. And so we will never know. I mean, maybe unless Kate Carey is writing a tell-all right now, but I don't plan to ask her directly. And so, like you said, don't want to speculate too much. It is a thought that I had. I'm curious, but I would not make a concrete call one way or the other on it. But I think it's a possibility that there could have been a lot of factors going on that could have also contributed to some of the manuscript issues that are present here. This was also McLeod Andrews' final audiobook narration for the series.
I know.
I think I might be sadder about that than Kate Carey leaving.
I only listened to one full book, with one full audiobook for Warriors, but like I was so struck by how well he like brought these books to life. Like that guy, fucking legend in my book.
That guy has been doing the damn thing for like he did that shit for like 22 years or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that whatever he does next, he finds all the success that he can.
McLeod Andrews, you deserve it. And I hope you...
Or if he's retiring, fucking congratulations and relax, my man.
Please, I hope you are getting so much HarperCollins money. You're probably not. I bet that job doesn't pay very well, but I wish that it does, and you deserve it to pay really well.
Exactly.
So yeah, other than that, I didn't have anything else aside from what I mentioned about like the timeline stuff. Again, it's been interesting that there has been some more concrete dates on timelines for the manuscripts here. I like getting to see that stuff. But yeah, that's it. Why don't you take us on over to Sharing Tongue?
So I do remember this book came out around the election.
Oh my god.
And I remember everybody was laughing through the pain and making jokes about one of the Warrior Cats being elected president of the United States. there were a lot of election memes as well because, of course, this was the book where the leader for RiverClan was going to get chosen. So, like, it was kind of a perfect storm. I unfortunately believe most of those were on TikTok that I saw. Or, like, random Warriors posts that, like, have since faded into obscurity and I could not find. But I do remember that being, like, a thing of, like, not even, like, with RiverClan specifically. Because, like, it started with the whole fact that, like, you know, RiverClan was going to find out who their new leader was at the same time that the election was happening. But it then spread to, like, Tiger Star has been elected president of Shadow Clan. And, like, things like that. Like, it would go into previous books as well. So I do remember that being a thing. I also remember seeing some vague spoilers when the book came out, specifically of the prologue. I saw, like, art on TikTok and stuff. I never saw the names, so I had no idea who the fuck was who and what was going on. But there was a lot of, like, curl feather haunting splash tail stuff when that was coming out, and it was all really cool.
Because that prologue fucking rules.
Yeah, because the prologue fucking slapped. On Tumblr, we've got some kind of additional criticisms of the conflict in Star. Specifically, this is from Golden Fur. They say, I feel like the conflict in Star would feel a lot less contrived if they spent some time on the page asserting why all these random RiverClan cats are down to commit war crimes. He's holding kids hostage, strange credulity when Splashtail himself is out and about. Is someone threatening the kids in his place? Establishing that he either curated a group of loyalists because he was already charismatic could have worked. Otherwise, I think stressing the idea that RiverClan is just ride or die for a presumably StarClan approved leader would have been enough. Just a bit of a fumble of what could have been a much cooler manipulation style villain. 100% agree.
Yeah, absolutely. That pretty much sums up exactly the issues with it.
Yeah. This next one from Sparrow Loves Skittles. If there had been like 2 chapters instead of 6 chapters where nothing happens except for Frostpaw being unconscious, I would have been a lot happier with Star TBH. Aaron Hunter, please, I do not want 6 chapters of waiting for Frostpaw to wake up.
It's too many chapters to wait for Frostpaw to wake up. It really is.
Yeah. This one from Fudanshi Prince is some really cool art of Ghost Curlfeather all torn up and like half her skull is showing. It's so neat.
There's some really good, if you go in the Curlfeather tag on Tumblr, there's some really cool fucked up Curlfeather art.
Yeah, there's some really good art. There's also a lot of really good Frost On art. Like, so much good Frost On art. Also, a lot of really cool Ice Star designs. Apparently, and this is for next episode, apparently there is some, the Yuri stocks in Warrior Cats is going up.
Oh.
Because there are a lot of people commenting on how Ivypool and Icewing have some very Yuri-coded moments in Ivypool's heart.
Hell yeah.
This one from Warrior Cats Confessions on Tumblr. I like to think that they made Ice Star the leader, in part because they noticed how she, as Icewing, was getting buried by people's Wings of Fire fan art. Which is hilarious because when I went on AO3 and I tried searching Icewing, the first thing that came up was Icewings from Wings of Fire.
That's so funny. I had a Dragon OC as a child who was named Icewing.
Nice. Icewing's a good name. Overall, lots of love for Frost On as a name. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think it is an incredible choice.
Absolutely rules.
Just a really strong warrior cat name. And then I found this really cute anthro art of Frostpaw and Curlfeather on Frostpaw's first day as an apprentice. And it's so cute. It's like a little photo of her about to like go. She's holding up like a little StarClan charm.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah, this, I think this artist, Sweet Lamb-Eyed on Tumblr, has done a couple pieces of really, really cool Warrior Cats anthro art.
Yeah, I'm following them on our blog now. Oh my god, they have a Frostpaw plushie. That's so cute. Wow, I love their stuff. Here's some great arts.
Some real good stuff.
Oh wow, they have Death Note fan art? Hell yeah.
No, I think that's something that they just reblogged. I don't think it's theirs.
Oh
but
damn,
it's really good.
Never mind.
It does rule, though. That's good Death Note fan art.
Oh, they have a really cool, like, punk scourge.
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat. Anyway, love that. Good art. AO3, this arc as a whole has 53 works tagged. Froston as a character has 92.
Ow.
Ice Star has 35. There is a Cloverfoot and Icewing fic that is them as humans in a coffee shop sim game.
Whoa.
There was like one line of Cloverfoot and Icewing apparently, and like there are two fics shipping them together. There's also Mothwing and Ice Star ship work. Everybody is pretty set on Icewing being a lesbian, or at least into women in some capacity. Love that. Continue.
Shout out.
Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Curlfeather has 33 fics. Splashtail has 50. Nightheart has 83. And Sunbeam has 65. There are 27 fics for Nightheart and Sunbeam, and 22 for Froston and Whistlebreeze.
Yeah, man.
The Yuri stocks are going up. Deeply appropriate, considering our friend just mentioned talking about the podcast in her crafty lesbian group.
Yes.
If you can't make your own Yuri, store-bought is fine. Like, Storygraph, there are, when I checked, 199 reviews with 4.16 stars.
That's quite high for this book to me.
I think that's a little too high. I would probably put it more in the 3 to 3.5 range, I would say.
Yeah. I think this could even be as low as like a 2.5 for me, but it depends. There's some stuff in there that's good.
Yeah. This one was a longer comment, but I wanted to pick out a couple of things from this review. What happened to the story we started with? Suddenly, Splashtail is crazy. Also, remember in the first book, when Lightleap went on RiverClan territory, there was some noise, she came back, it was really weird, and we all wondered if she did or saw something. Don't worry, because the authors sure don't.
Oh my god, that's right.
Yeah.
Oof.
Another one, the political conflict was so interesting, but sometimes the characters acted a bit too stupid when it was convenient for the plot. For example, Sunbeam not instantly fleeing ShadowClan to tell ThunderClan what happened. That pissed me off, because she literally was told by Tawny Pelt, you need to go get help. And no, she's like, I'm gonna stay and watch my mom and find out what happens. Like, no, go get help.
Come on.
Go get help.
Come on. What are we doing?
This was a 4-star review that just said, rounding up from 3.5 stars because of gray sludge and mist slime. And then, okay, is it just me that thought Froston was going to become the leader? No, it was not just you, random reviewer. Like, lots of people did think that.
Shout out.
YouTube, I finally have some time, so by the time this episode airs, I should have been able to go through the ones that were recommended in Discord as well, and add them to our playlist. But now that we have finished the arc, I was able to go through and watch a bunch of AMV and PMVs. The very first one I saw was set to I Know the End by Phoebe Bridgers, and I started crying. I'm not gonna lie. That song gets me every time. Froston, you would have loved Phoebe Bridgers. One of the things I found really striking about a lot of these, and I've already put the ones that I found today in our playlist. Everybody draws Frostpaw's face so nicely. It's so recognizable. Her eyes are always done really well. Mm-hmm. Just a really good art.
I'm very pleased with the fandom's sort of blanket decision that she is a point.
100%. Point. Everybody's like, that cat's point.
That's a point cat. Yeah, she's got that beautiful dark face on that beautiful gray fur.
Yeah. We've got some Taylor Swift, of course. We've got some indie music. We've got one that's to Writing on the Wall that I thought was really cool. All of these are also incredibly recent because this book came out 2 years ago. Less than.
Yeah.
But it's also crazy how quick some of these were. Then there was also a Mitski one. I was like, God damn, Frost On would be into sad girl bops, honestly. There's a really cool Splash Tail AMV that I feel kind of like gives him a much cooler motivation than the books do.
Ooh, I'm excited to look at that one. I really like the cover art for it.
Yeah, the cover art's incredible.
Those big fucking
the Harpy Hair Frostpaw PMV, I really liked the style on that one. It almost kind of like evokes the like Wolfwalker Secrets of the Kells art style.
I love that. I love that song, and I love how like the absolute grip that it has on the Warrior Cats fandom.
It really does. Like, they're all posting it. We've got Curl Feathers set to Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Let's go.
Also, banger choice.
Absolutely.
There was one for Frostpaw called God Must Hate Me that was really pretty. Somebody put Berryheart and Sunbeam to Mother Knows Best from Tangled,
wow.
Which, good pull, actually, honestly. There was also a Curl Feather and Frostpaw PMV to the song Not a Lot, Just Forever, which there was also a fic with that title for Curl Feather. So that is like her song, apparently.
Let's go.
We got, a lot more Frostpaw, Frost On ones, a Starless Clan one set to Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo, and it's kind of focused on all three. And then a Splash Tail and Curl Feather one that I really loved the detail on this one. The detail on the art was crazy. And that one is set to New Invention by I Don't Know How, But They Found Me. Also really neat to notice that there's a lot of these newer AMVs were kind of getting back to the like anime style with a lot of the cat designs I've noticed.
Yeah.
And I love that. The resurgence of the anime cat design
has
been really great. And like I mentioned, like there was definitely a lot going on TikTok, but that's impossible to search. But yeah, that's a lot of fun stuff that I found.
Yeah, wow, lots of stuff. I'm gonna watch all of these later.
Yeah, there was actually a lot today. I was like, whoa. I was up to the wire getting notes done. I'm queuing all these up. I've opened them all in tabs and I'm ready to watch them after we're done recording. Do we want to go to our Warrior Cat of the Week?
Yeah, tell me your pick.
I don't think this is going to be a surprise. My pick is Frost On.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, even though she spent 1/3 of the book unconscious, she is still my baby girl. I love her so much. I would do anything for her. I love her. I love her new name. And I hope that she and Whistlebreeze kiss in the next arc.
That would be great. Yeah, mine is also Frost Dawn. I almost picked Curl Feather, almost like entirely based on the prologue and a little bit of the ways that she showed up for Frostpaw in her coma. But if the stuff in the coma had been more consistent with the rest of her characterization, maybe it would have stuck that way. But I think just generally, Frost On was a great character here. I really liked that she got to go apeshit on Splashtail's ass.
Yeah.
I liked her Shinji Ikari moment, and I so hope that her life chills out now. Please, God, give her a rest.
Please, God. Let her rest.
Let her rest.
All right. Well, that's the end of this arc, but not the end of this season.
Oh, we got one more.
Do you want to take us out?
Yeah. If you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Blue Sky at Paws and Claws and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. We are brought to you by the TWG Podcast Network, which you can find at theworstgarbage.online. You can find me on Tumblr or Blue Sky at Humble Goat and see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com.
And you can find me on Blue Sky at plot-twists or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss the 17th published super edition Ivy Pool's Heart. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.
PWG, the worst garbage. Online.